right. And Diana, is it Diana? Okay, there she is right in the front. So, how does your biracial background influence your work and help others in each or both cultures, as both are targeted in the U.S.?
Well, I think one, understanding, you know, growing up, it definitely was something that I felt immediately, you know, because in Los Angeles at the time, there was a lot of tension between blacks and Mexicans alone, which is different. It's different here. I always loved Texas for the fact that Latinos and black people kind of get along here. It's like we're one here. You know what I mean? It's always been very like all-inclusive. But in LA, for whatever reason, it just wasn't like that, especially where I grew up. And so I had to deal with a little bit of the racial tension. Mm-hmm. And then after kind of the 90s and getting past that, you know, just what comes with being ethnic. It's not even about being black or brown or you know, if you're Asian or, I mean, essentially, like, if we really want to get into it, I don't want to get that deep, but I mean, things like the 13th Amendment have been used, you know, against, you know, lower income communities and ethnic people for decades. And that is to take advantage of people who don't know better, or who can't or don't know how to defend themselves through the due process and blah, 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 to be essentially exploited. So, you know, I think all of that, knowing that, really contributes to me paying more attention to it. And I think also just getting a little bit older, and, you know, your priorities change as you get older, you know. Certain things are more important than they were before, and other things less. Yeah. So that's one of those things I think is in the forefront of my mind. Right.
I mean, there's things that I'm learning as I'm 30 now, and I'm learning today, just, you know, from, you know, following the right threads on Twitter, that I'm like, oh my gosh, I kind of feel, I don't know if it was my school system growing up or what, but I'm like, I didn't know that. So if y'all have not watched the 13th Amendment on, or the 13 on 13 Netflix, like, you should definitely watch it. That will definitely contribute to what he was saying right now. It's amazing.
Yeah. You'll definitely be the kind of angry that we should be, you know.
Absolutely.
In order to, I think that's what it requires. Like, we have to get mad first before we really start to mobilize and, like, you know, figure out what is, how we're going to help change the narrative. You know?
Right, yeah, you got to understand it before you, for sure. All right, so we have...
we got heavy.
I know.
Early?
I need a drink. That was great. Jackie, there you are.
Hi, Jackie.
All right.
What's up?
She said, do you still remember the first song you created at age 13?
Man, I mean, I've been creating before age 13. I think around that age it was like songs like this song called "You Were On My Mind," which is a song that I did with Blue. Blue is a good friend of mine. I don't know if you know who Blue is, BLU. He has an album called Below the Heavens with DJ Exile that I'm on. But we met in high school, and through him I met Anthony Williams, who's like one of our big brothers. I would say he was like a mentor and a big brother. And he introduced me to Erica Grayson, who worked at Universal at the time. And she connected me to a production company, and they have a lot to do with, you know, me learning about creating music all the way up till I was 18. And I think it was those years and all of that connection that really helped me be ready to make music, or really pushed me to make music at a certain level. Early on, and be like really used to moving around in the studio and really getting my studio chops up. So when I was 13, that was kind of like the beginning of all of that. It really set everything into motion. Yeah. But you can look it up. It's probably like on YouTube somewhere. Well, definitely look up Blue, Below the Heavens, BLU. It'll be Blue and Exile, Blue and DJ Exile. But if you look up Below the Heavens, I promise you'll love the album. And you'll hear me, I'm on like 2 of the songs. At that age, I was like 18. Yeah.
I'll put that in your phones. Remember that. Yeah. I remember your song Supernatural. Weren't you like super young when you made that? I love
that. Supernatural.
So good.
You and I.
I know what's happening here. Alright, so we have Tony, who's in the back over there. Okay.
What's up, Tony?
He said, this is a really dangerous question. Whataburger or In-N-Out?
Ooh.
Yay.
You're in Texas.
I got the major curve for you right now. See, I've been eating mostly plant-based, so I rarely go to either. But I will say, Whataburger has this really banging breakfast taco, I remember, out here. Or maybe they don't anymore. I don't know. I used to order this breakfast taco from Whataburger. That was insane. I used to go stay at Happy Perez. You guys know who Happy Perez is? Happy Perez is like closer to Houston, but he did like Sugar Sugar How You Get So Fly. And
the cool baby man.
Right, exactly. I mean, that's like, he's done a number of hits. Like now he's like done, you know, Halsey's last couple singles. He's done, he's got a few singles out this year that were like major, you know. And then he did Sure Thing. He produced Sure Thing. But we've been collaborating since I was younger. Yeah. But he's the one that introduced me to Whataburger and those breakfast tacos, so yeah.
I'm from Arizona, and like the Whataburger we had in my hometown was trash. And so yeah, it was, they put like so much mustard on the burger, not the same. But we had In-N-Out, so I'm not gonna say what my favorite is. I don't eat burgers anymore either. I'm plant-based. All right, last question. Romeo. Is it Romeo?
Yeah, What's up, Romeo?
I'm the worst Hispanic ever, so my bad, I'm sorry. When creating your music, how do you make it sure it transcends time and genre?
Man, music is always about emotion. That's it. I think that's what we'll always be able to relate to, is like feeling. So if a song has a feeling, then it makes it easier to be timeless, because people can connect their experiences to the emotion. And when that happens, that's what people make songs timeless, you know. And I think when enough people make a song a part of their own personal memories, somehow that just kind of, it's like when you throw a rock into a pond, just the ripple keeps going, you know. And so when you're able to create a song that really creates that ripple for people in their time space, it really just transcends, and that's what happens. That's the biggest blessing as a creative person, is to create anything that people really relate to a certain time or place in their life. It's a memory, you know. Yeah, that's like spiritual level, you know. Yeah.
Well, speaking of that, so I just had a baby. She's 3 months old.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And she, I was so happy about this. She only falls asleep to Adorn.
Really?
It is like the only song she'll be freaking out, and I was like, maybe it's just a coincidence, you know. So I'll be singing her, you know, to sleep, and she like will smile, and then she'll like pass out. And then I was taking her to the doctor, and she's freaking out, and my grandma was with me, and I was like, let me just try it. Let me just see if this is real. Like maybe I'm like making this up in my head, and I put it on, and she was out. Like she was so Adorn is the only song she'll legit fall asleep to.
That's
and
incredible.
yeah, I was like, you are my baby.
That's incredible. Did you listen to Adorn while she was
all the time? It was between Adorn and like any Maxwell song. Like those were like the two things I listened to the most. Yeah. I was like, if you don't like R&B when you get out of here, like you could be anything else, but if you don't like R&B, like it's
right. I'm
giving you. No, just kidding. I love my baby. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. I love my baby so much.
She was ready to put her up for adoption.
No.
For R&B. I love it.
So thank you guys so much.
Awesome.
Thank you for coming through and answering all these amazing questions.
Thank you guys for
from Miguel.